Welcome to part 2. Now let's set up your autoresponder. For the purposes of this demonstration, we're going to be using Aweber, but there are other autoresponder companies available. So come here to aweber.com, and if you don't already have an account, you can get started for just $1. So if you haven't set this up already, click here on this button and then follow the on-screen instructions. If you have got an Aweber account, come up here to where it says sign in and click on this button here, and then you enter your login name here and your password, and then click here where it says log into my account. And when you log in for the first time, you're going to see a page like this which welcomes you in, and there's a video that explains how Aweber works. I'm going to skip this video for the moment. Okay, the next page that you'll come to is some information that they want about yourself. It'll have a lot of the information that you provided when you signed up, so it'll be your company name or an individual name if you're just trading under your own name. You can put your company website in here if you wish, that's optional. Scroll down a bit more. You've got the address that'll have to go at the bottom of the emails. This is required under the United States Can-Spam Act, as well as laws in other countries as well. This is obviously not my real address, but you would put your real address in here, and also the name and the sender email that you want to have to show up in people's inboxes. Okay, click on the next step. Okay, now you need to build your list, and this is the list for your free subscribers. So we have to give the list a name. So let's call it subscribers. And then you have to briefly describe what the emails are going to be about, and you enter that in here. So let's call this free training. Obviously, if I was doing this for real, I'd put in a more detailed and enticing description. Then click here on next step. Now Aweber works on what's known as a double opt-in system, and that means that people will come to your website, they'll sign up, but the first email they're going to get is an email from Aweber asking them to confirm their subscription. And on this page is where you set that up. It's quite frankly a good idea just to leave it at the standard. You can choose some pre-approved ones from the drop-down menu, or you can write your own one. Some people suggest it's a good idea to actually have the first name in the subject line because it draws attention. Personally, I've never really found that that makes a lot of difference. So we're going to leave it here at the default setting, and you scroll down a bit more, and you can see this is the message that's going to be sent, which just basically says please confirm by clicking on the link. So that's okay, and you see it's got your thank you and your name down the bottom there. So click here, approve message, and create list. And there you go. Now you need to create your first sign up form. So we'll click here on this button. And it loads up looking like this. Now this part of the whole procedure is rather academic because we have actually prepared a form for you already. You just need to enter the values into the form. So rather than design a template, all I recommend you do is scroll down to where it says go to step 2 and click on that button there. you need to give your form a name. Let's just call this Form 01. You also want to customize the thank you and already subscribed pages so that they point to the URL for your paid offer. So what you want to do is select from the drop down menu here where it says custom page. Then you want to enter your URL in here. Okay, and again here, in fact we'll just copy and paste this. I think it's going to make it easier. Control and C, select custom page, enter the URL. Now I'm going to save the form. And there we are. The web form has been saved. So we can go on to step 3. Now Aweber wants to know how you're going to publish this form onto your website. And you want to select this option here, I will install my form. So click on that. And then you want to select this one here, raw HTML version. And let's just scroll down a bit. And you want to scroll down about halfway and you'll see this information here. And this is the information that you're going to need to copy and paste into your squeeze page. Okay, now when that's done, you want to come back to the place on your hard drive where you've unzipped all the files, and you want to select this folder here, squeeze, and then you want to edit this file here, index.html. So once again, right click and open with and Notepad, and there we go, and let's just maximize that. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to replace these X's in the squeeze page with values from Aweber. So we're just going to copy and paste across from one to the other. So the first one we want to look for is meta underscore web underscore form ID, and then we're going to paste the value in there. So let's come back to Aweber, and you can see we have it here, meta underscore web underscore form underscore ID value, and it's these numbers here. So let's just copy and paste in. You can either right click and do copy, or you can do Control and C. Let me come back to here, highlight all these X's. Make sure that you leave the quotation marks intact when you're pasting, and also make sure that you don't put two sets of quotation marks in, otherwise it won't work. So then I just do Control and V, and that's that. So the next one is list name, and you can see list name usually starts AW list, and again copy and paste. Oops. Now rather than have you sit and watch while I do this, I'm just going to pause the video while I complete all this, as I'm sure you get the idea by now. And you can see that's all done now. All this information has been put in, so all I have to do is come up here to File and Save, and that's saved and it's ready to be uploaded to the web space, which I'll cover later on. Now, don't be tempted to simply copy and paste what's here directly into the squeeze page, because the actual layout is slightly different. If you can, we can see again here. Okay, with that all done, it's time to start loading up your follow-up messages. Come back to your hard drive, and if you've downloaded the resources zip file, unzip it and then open up the folder that says Autoresponder Emails. In it you'll find this text file which says opt-in subscriber emails.txt. Double click on that to open it. Now, if I was doing this for real, I would go through and change all this. I put my name in where it says, hey, it's your name, and I would have a link to the training video, which would either be on the website or it could be on YouTube or somewhere similar. And then I would put my name down at the bottom. And here I would put the link for the paid training, which would be the link to the main website URL. Now, obviously, I don't have time to do that as part of this demonstration, but you can see what you need to do. You can see all the different emails here that we provide for you as the second one, third one, and so on. So you'd want to go through and customize this first, and you can do it in Windows Notepad, just like I'm doing here. Now, to load this up into Aweber, first of all, let's go back to the Aweber website, and we click here on Messages, and click here where it says Follow-up Series. So we click there. It takes you through to this page, and then you click here where it says Create Your First Follow-Up. Opens up this page here. Let me just scroll down so you can see it better. And all you do is simply copy and paste from the text file into this window. So let me come back here. I can copy that one. Right click and copy, or just Control and C, and then paste it in. Let's just do Control and V. There we go. And then I can do all this again, just highlight, Control C, highlight all this, Control V, and there we go. You can send a test email out to an email address so you can see what it's going to look like. And if I scroll down a bit further, you can see what you do. Click here on Save, and it's saved, and then click through to Next. It's a good idea to leave this box here. It says track clicks on website links to this message, because then you can see how responsive your message is. You can see how many people are getting the message and how many people are clicking through to the website. So that's a good thing to have. And we click here on Save and Exit. And there you go, the message has been saved, and you can see that the first message is to be sent immediately. Okay, then you can send your next follow-up. So create a follow-up, and again the procedure is the same. We simply do a copy and paste. This is email 2, so we can copy there and paste using Control C and Control V. And save. And then click on Next. Now, because this is a follow-up, you can set the interval as to how many days from the previous message you want this one to be sent. So I'm going to send this the next day. So we'll say 1 days after previous. Send window, only deliver this message on certain days and times. I'm going to leave this turned off. There is a lot of information on Aweber that tells you how to use all these different settings, so I'm not going to go into it here. But you'll find lots of information actually on the Aweber website, which shows you how you can make the most out of Aweber. Okay, so scroll down again and click on Save and Exit. And there you go. You've got the second message in the series, and it's showing here send 1 day after previous message. And then you simply repeat the procedure with all of the other messages in the follow-up series. And we'll continue this video in part 3.